Each personality type has a handful of stereotypes which seem to circulate about this. These misconceptions come from the spreading of information which lacks true or accurate details. People gain these ideas from one personality they meet, or from not truly digging deeper when it comes to understanding someone. Once these stereotypes spread, they can certainly be harmful, especially to the personality type experiencing these untrue ideas about them. It is best to look into the information further, as well as to realize that each individual is different. Personality types can be a great way to understand how people process information and often respond to it, but it doesn't tell you everything about who they are as a person. So here are just a few INFJ stereotypes and misconceptions, and how they are untrue. It is often believed that INFJs don't live in the real world, and are incapable of being logical people. There are misconceptions that the INFJ focuses only on emotions, and becomes caught up in their own inner world so much that they can't function in the real world. This belief that they only peg themselves as special and unique, and set apart from everyone else. These stereotypes behave as if the INFJ is unlike anyone else, to such a degree that they are incapable of being understood for who they are. Not only are these stereotypes harmful to the INFJ, they are harmful to anyone who wants to get close to them. While INFJs do have in-depth inner worlds which they enjoy spending time in, that does not make them incapable of behaving in the real world. This also does not make the INFJ incapable of logic and reason. It is quite the opposite, actually. There is also a belief that INFJs are constantly clumsy people, walking into walls and finding it difficult to be physical people. Since INFJs aren't naturally drawn to physical activities, being that, say, extrovert sensing is their inferior function, this causes people to perceive them as clumsy people. This stereotype certainly can cause the INFJ to believe they are naturally incapable of physical activities, but this is not the case. While some might not be naturally inclined towards these things, it doesn't make this myth true for all of them. There is also a stereotype that INFJs are naturally affectionate and constantly sweet. This idea that they are emotional people who love to constantly be close to someone or express their feelings. These stereotypes come from the fact that INFJs do use fae, and are highly compassionate people. It creates this misconception that they are constantly affectionate, and just enjoy being expressive and loving towards everyone they meet. While they are caring people, this is actually very far from accurate when it comes to the INFJ's personality. The idea that INFJs are not logical is actually very far from true, since INFJs use their thinking function T as their third or auxiliary function. They use this to help them process information, and in truth INFJs often enjoy spending time learning. They care about absorbing information and want to be able to learn about the world around them. Most INFJs love to read and absorb information, and are good at applying these facts in their daily lives. INFJs also use introverted intuition as their dominant function, which is more based on information and facts than people realize. This can seem like some sort of mystical psychic ability, when in reality it comes from the INFJ cataloging information subconsciously. They pick up these little bits of information and facts, and their inner minds helps them to sift through all of it in order to make future predictions. INFJs really do care about information and being logical, and often this is an important focus in their lives. INFJs can also be very connected people when they are around someone who inspired them. While they do spend a lot of time inside of their own minds and thoughts, This doesn't mean they don't know what is going on around them. INFJs can sometimes be rather physical people, especially when they are around someone they feel connected to. They just don't spend as much focus on this part of themselves, but that does not make them clumsy or incapable people. It is important to always consider the individual, since some might defy the usual behaviors attached to their type. While sports might not naturally be the focus of the INFJ, there are some who are excellent at building their inferior function and helping themselves to improve. The stereotype that INFJs are emotional and constantly affectionate people is actually very untrue. INFJs enjoy time to themselves a lot, and don't always feel comfortable expressing themselves to others. They often need space and room to breathe, or else they feel drained and emotionally overwhelmed. INFJs care about people and can be highly empathetic, but this is more focused on the emotions of others. When it comes to their own inner feelings, the INFJ can actually struggle to express them, which is why they aren't actually the constantly affectionate and open people that the stereotype might peg them as. These stereotypes are often very inaccurate and put the INFJ in a box which is not true to who they are. Some INFJs might start to believe in these misconceptions as well, especially if they see it constantly. This can cause them to feel trapped, not really focused on inner growth. INFJs are capable of so much more than these stereotypes, and are naturally very open to growth and becoming better within themselves. Sometimes being too in touch with this information can really pigeonhole the INFJ in ways which can be unhealthy and harmful to them.